I was at big man years old when I found out that though Abraham was a righteous man of God, he was actually born to a father who was heavily involved in idol worshiping. And parallel to Christ, he was almost unalived by the king when he was just a baby. Let's get into it. Abraham was born to a man called Terah, who came from the line of Shem, Noah's son. But see, Terah wasn't just an ordinary man. He was prince of Nimrod's host, and he was very great in the sight of King Nimrod. The king dignified Terah above all his other princes. So you see, Abraham was born to a wealthy father who was the king's right-hand man. Now, the story gets very interesting because on the night when Abraham was born, all the servants of Terah and all the wise men of King Nimrod came to celebrate with him. But when the wise men left Terah's house that night, they lifted up their head to the heavens and they saw something very strange. One large star came from the east and it swallowed up the other four stars from the four sides of the heaven. The wise men interpreted the matter to mean that Terah's son, Abraham, would grow up to be great and to multiply and possess the earth, and that he and his children would slay great kings and inherit their lands. Now, they didn't want to tell Nimrod about this, but after consulting among themselves, they decided that it was better to tell the king than for him to somehow find out and punish them for keeping this secret. So they told the matter to the king, and they decided that the child should be unalived before he grew up and increased in the land. They even decided to give Terah money and other valuables in exchange for unaliving his son. The king sent for Terah, and he said, "The son that was born to you last night, there was a sign observed in the heavens, so give him to me, and I will unalive him, and then I will give you silver and gold." Terah said, "I hear you, king, but allow me to get your advice on a matter, and then I will answer you." Nimrod said, "Sure, let me hear it." Terah said, "A man came to me last night, and he said, 'Give me that great, beautiful horse that King Nimrod gave to you for a gift, and I will give you silver and gold in return.' So I told the man to wait. I will go and seek the advice of the king, and then I will come back and answer you." Now, the king was greatly angered by what Terah said. He could not believe that Terah would even consider such a thing, selling the beautiful horse he gifted him in exchange for money, as though he was poor or lacking anything. So Nimrod said to Terah, "Are you stupid?" By now, I hope you saw what Terah did there. Then Terah said, "But, O king, you are doing the same thing, asking me to allow you to unalive my son in exchange for money." At this point, the king was even more furious because he was the one looking stupid. The king got so angry that Terah said, "Okay, I hear you, O king. Just, I plead with thee, give me 3 days and let me consult with my family, and then I will come back to you with an answer." So Terah left the king's house, and on the third day, the king sent a message to him. He said, "If you don't bring Abraham to me today, not only will I unalive him, but I will slay every member of your household, and not even a dog will be left." Upon that message, Terah did what almost any father would do: protect their child. He took a child from one of his servants, which his handmaid had born to him that day, and he brought that child to the king. The king, believing it was Abraham, dashed the child's head to the ground and instantly unalived him. From that day, Abram's life was concealed, and the conversation surrounding his birth died a natural death. And this is what Terah did to hide his son. He took his son, his mother, and a nurse, and he placed them in a cave to live. He brought them provisions every month thereafter for 10 years to sustain them. And the Lord was with Abraham in the cave, and everyone else thought he had died. This is a part about Abram's life that I don't usually hear preached about among believers. But aren't you intrigued by this story? If you identified any other similarities or parallels to Christ, I would love to hear them in the comments. Next, on the Gospel of the Kingdom, we'll talk about Abram's life after leaving the cave. See you then.